Have you ever stepped into someone's home and felt instantly calm, like everything was in its place and the air itself was lighter? Margaret, 68, used to wonder how others kept such peaceful, tidy homes until she discovered it wasn't about doing more but doing less with purpose. In today's video, we'll walk through 12 daily habits that real seniors rely on not just to keep their homes clean but to create spaces that feel calm, healing, and easy to live in. These are not cleaning marathons. They're quiet, repeatable habits that restore your energy, lighten your day, and reconnect you to what matters. Which one could be your first tiny reset today? Let's begin with a habit that takes under 2 minutes but transforms how your mornings feel. Before she even brushed her teeth or checked the weather, Margaret always did one thing first. She gently pulled up the covers, smoothed the sheets with both hands, and fluffed the pillows just so. It wasn't about perfection. It wasn't even about cleaning. For her, making the bed was a way to tell the day, "I'm here, I'm starting fresh." She called it her morning anchor, and on mornings when her knees ached or the silence felt heavier than usual, this simple act reminded her she still had a say in how the day would unfold. There's something quietly powerful about a made bed. Even if the rest of the room is a little messy, a sweater draped over the chair, yesterday's newspaper on the nightstand, the room still feels more calm, more intentional. It's as if that one neat square of space sets the tone for everything else. And science agrees. Studies show that people who make their bed each morning report feeling more in control, less stressed, and more motivated throughout the day. It's not magic, it's just a rhythm, a cue to your brain that you've already done one thing right. Margaret once tried skipping it. "I'll do it later," she told herself, but later never came. By lunchtime, the bed was still unmade, the pillows sunken, the sheets tangled, and somehow it made the whole room feel like it was dragging its feet. She realized then it's not just about the bed. It's about starting your day with purpose, even if it's small, and here's the best part. It takes less than 2 minutes, no special skills, no extra energy, just a moment of care, of ritual, and the effect lasts all day. That little rectangle of tidiness greets you again each time you pass by, whispering, "You showed up for yourself today." So tomorrow morning, before the coffee brews or the TV hums to life, try it. Just smooth the covers. Straighten the pillows. See what shifts not just in the room but in you. But then once the bed is made, what about the little things that tend to pile up around it? Margaret always smiled when she looked at her freshly made bed, but it didn't take long before something else caught her eye: a pair of reading glasses on the nightstand, a half-folded sweater draped over the chair, yesterday's tea mug sitting just where she left it. The bed may have been her anchor, but the rest of the room told a different story. That's the thing about clutter. It doesn't crash into your home all at once, it creeps in little by little, one "I'll put it away later" at a time. She used to tell herself it was just temporary, like the time she set her glasses down just for a second while answering the phone. 3 hours later, they were still there, and now they were joined by the day's mail and an empty snack plate. It was never intentional, but before she knew it, every flat surface became a landing zone: kitchen counters, the coffee table, the hallway bench. It made her house feel busier than it really was, like the walls themselves were buzzing with things undone. That's when she learned the one-touch rule: if you pick something up, don't set it down again somewhere random, put it where it belongs. It sounds simple, and it is, but it takes noticing. Touch the item once, handle it with care, finish the action. When you treat each object like it deserves a home, the home itself starts to feel more peaceful. Margaret made small changes. She placed a shallow wicker basket on her side table for reading glasses and hand lotion. A narrow tray near the entryway caught her keys, wallet, and spare change. By giving each item a spot, she gave herself fewer decisions to make later. No more wandering from room to room trying to remember where she left something. It was always right there. There's also the way visual clutter works quietly on your nerves. You may not notice it right away, but over time it weighs on you. It's like having a background hum that never stops. A scattered kitchen counter can make cooking feel overwhelming. A cluttered coffee table can make it harder to relax with your favorite book. But a clear surface, that feels like space to breathe. Take a moment now and think, what's the one thing you tend to leave out the most? Is it a coffee cup, junk mail, your knitting supplies? What if you gave it a little home today? A basket, a drawer, or even just a tidy corner? You might be surprised how much lighter the room feels when that one thing is no longer hanging around, waiting for your attention. And once your surfaces are cleared and the hum of mess fades, you may start to notice something else: the crumbs, the dust, the quiet little smudges that sneak in without asking. Once those stray items were tucked back into place, Margaret would turn her attention to the quiet film left behind, the invisible layer of crumbs, smudges, and fingerprints that made even a tidy room feel just a little bit off. She never rushed through it. Instead, before settling down for her afternoon tea, she'd take her time wiping the kitchen counters, moving slowly from one end to the other with a soft cloth and a few sprays of gentle cleaner. It became part of her rhythm, like folding a napkin or closing a book. Simple, thoughtful, reassuring. There's something deeply calming about a freshly wiped surface. Even if the rest of the room is far from perfect, a clean counter gives the feeling that someone cares. That someone is paying attention. Margaret used to say it reminded her of the nurses who tucked the hospital corners tight when her husband was sick, small gestures that told you someone was looking out for the space, even when nobody else saw. It's not about making things perfect, it's about reclaiming a sense of calm in the chaos. She kept things easy: no harsh chemicals, no scrubbing, just a bottle with vinegar and water or a mild cleaner she trusted, and a soft microfiber cloth tucked behind the bread box. That way, whenever she noticed a sticky spot or a dusty patch, it took only a moment to tend to it. It didn't feel like a chore, it felt like clearing the air, and she noticed something. When the counters were clean, she was less likely to set things down on them mindlessly. No more stacks of paper near the toaster or old receipts beside the fruit bowl. The space invited order just by being clear. On the flip side, when she skipped it even just for a day, everything seemed to gather there. Coffee rings, crumbs from toast, a little dried jam that caught the light just wrong. It only took a few hours for the mess to multiply. There's a kind of dignity in this kind of care. It's quiet, almost invisible, but it says something to you every time you pass by. You've tended to this, you made it welcoming again. For Margaret, that became part of her self-respect. Not for guests, not for show, just for her own peace of mind. So maybe tonight after dinner or tomorrow after breakfast, you could take a moment, just a cloth and a few gentle wipes. Don't aim for perfect. Just aim for better than it was. Let the space breathe again. And now that your hands are warmed up and your eyes are noticing the small things, maybe it's time to face one of the most sneaky sources of overwhelm: the laundry pile. Small gestures have big power, and nowhere is that more obvious than in the laundry room. Margaret still remembers one winter holiday when the grandkids left town, the decorations were half-packed, and the laundry had reached what she called mountain stage. There were bath towels from visiting family, bedsheets from every room, piles of sweaters and socks, all waiting. She stood there holding an empty basket, staring at what felt like an avalanche, and in that moment something in her shifted. She whispered to herself, "Never again." That was the day she decided to do just one small load every day, just enough to keep things moving, never enough to feel heavy. Some mornings it was just kitchen towels. Other days it was a half load of light colors or the nightgown she liked fresh for Sunday mornings. It didn't matter how much, what mattered was the rhythm. It kept her from reaching that breaking point where laundry felt like punishment. She noticed something else too. On days when she stayed consistent, she felt calmer. The house didn't echo with "I'll get to it later." She didn't dig through baskets to find a clean top. And her closet started to feel like a space of peace again, not a holding zone for undone chores. The task became part of her self-care, just like brushing her hair or pouring a glass of water. Caring for her clothes meant caring for herself. Of course, there were still days when her joints ached and lifting a full load felt like too much. That's when she got smarter. She split loads across days: darks one day, towels another. She asked for a folding table that didn't strain her back. She used a lighter bottle of detergent and stored it within arm's reach. There's no badge for doing it all at once, but there is peace in knowing you're doing what you can when you can. And if you're someone who lives alone or doesn't fill a basket that often, the same habit still works. Instead of waiting for a full load, try setting a reminder to check the basket every morning. If there's enough, start it. If not, let it go. Either way, it keeps the decision light. No guilt, no pile, just a gentle reset, one cycle at a time. So the next time you glance at your laundry basket, ask yourself, would I rather carry a mountain or just a basket? The answer might seem small, but it can change the weight of your entire week. Speaking of small efforts with big impact, there's one more daily habit that completely changes how your kitchen and your mood feels each morning. Just as the hum of the washing machine fades and your laundry basket feels light again, there's one more space that quietly affects how you greet the morning: your kitchen sink. Margaret used to think she could leave the dishes until tomorrow. "I'll get them after breakfast," she'd say. But then morning came, and instead of sunlight and calm, she was met with a pile of cold plates, hardened crumbs, and cloudy glasses. It stole the peace before the day even began. One evening, after a simple dinner of soup and toast, she rinsed the dishes right away just because the kettle was boiling and she had a minute to spare. And the next morning, walking into the kitchen to find an empty sink, she felt something she hadn't expected. Relief. The room felt open, the day felt new. It didn't take long for that small act to become a ritual. Margaret found her rhythm. She washed as she cooked, wiped the counters while the rice simmered, and rinsed mugs while the tea steeped. It wasn't about speed, it was about presence. She even kept a little towel over her shoulder, just like her husband used to. He was the one who always dried the dishes. He'd whistle while he did it, soft little tunes she never recognized but always loved. After he passed, Margaret avoided that part of the kitchen for a while, but over time she found herself humming again as she ran warm water over the plates, almost hearing him beside her. The routine became sacred, not just tidying up but honoring memory, and it didn't take long. 5 minutes after dinner, sometimes less, what used to feel like a chore became a quiet transition from day to evening. It marked the close of one chapter and the promise of a smoother tomorrow. If the idea of tackling dishes right after eating feels tiring, start small. Rinse the pans, stack the plates neatly, load just the utensils. You don't have to scrub everything at once, you just have to begin. The goal isn't a sparkling kitchen, it's a fresh start when you wake up. So here's something to think about. What's your after-dinner habit? Do you head straight for the couch? Check your phone. Could you trade 5 minutes of that time for a moment of peace that lasts through the morning? What would it feel like to walk into a kitchen that's already smiling back at you? And while your hands are still warm from the water and your eyes are scanning the counters, you might notice something else quietly piling up nearby: a stack of unopened mail, flyers, receipts, and notes that haven't been touched in days. That pile by the sink may be gone, but just a few feet away, another quiet mess often begins to grow, this time in paper. Margaret used to think she didn't have much. Just the daily mail, a few coupons, maybe a takeout menu or two. But within days, that small stack became a leaning tower: unopened envelopes, bank statements, expired flyers, old user manuals she hadn't looked at in years. It wasn't just untidy, it made her feel behind before she even started her day. Paper clutter is tricky. It doesn't smell, it doesn't stain, it just sits there quietly demanding attention. But one letter becomes two. A receipt becomes a stack, and before you know it, you're sorting through months of things you no longer need. That's why Margaret decided to stop the pile before it started. Every afternoon after checking the mail, she'd stand by her little sorting station near the front door. It wasn't fancy, just a small basket for things to shred, a tray labeled important, and a slim bin for recycling. If it didn't matter, it was gone within seconds. If it did, it had a home. One Saturday afternoon, her granddaughter Lily came over to help her go through a box of old papers. Margaret poured them some cocoa and they sat on the rug near the window. As they sorted receipts and flyers into piles, Lily paused, holding a yellowed envelope. "Who's this lady, Grandma?" she asked, pointing to a faded photo clipped to the letter inside. Margaret took it gently. It was her mother smiling in front of a rose bush in a dress Margaret remembered tugging on as a child. Her eyes softened. "That's my mom," she said. "She used to write me letters when I moved out. This one," she opened the page, "this one told me to rest when the world tells you to rush." Her voice caught for a moment. Lily leaned in without a word, and together they placed the photo and letter in a small keepsake box beside the reading chair. For Margaret, that tiny moment, knees on the floor, cocoa cooling beside them, felt like more than tidying. It was passing down memory, it was letting love linger. Not every paper will hold meaning, but they all hold space. And for many of us, especially those living alone, that quiet pile becomes an invisible weight. It reminds us of things we haven't finished, things we've put off. Clearing it even for just 5 minutes a day helps make space for clarity, for stillness, for peace. So why not create a paper routine? Open the mail near a recycling bin, keep a small shredder or scissors nearby, sort things while the kettle's on or during a quiet evening moment. You don't have to do it all at once, just enough to stay ahead. And if you're holding onto papers just in case, ask yourself, would I even look for this again? What would you find if you opened that pile today? An old card from a friend, a photo tucked in a bill, or simply the feeling of letting go? Because once the paper's gone and the counters are truly clear, you make space for something much lighter, like fresh air, sunlight, or the soft sound of a window being opened for the first time all week. With the last of the paper cleared and the room finally breathing again, Margaret would turn to one of her favorite habits, one that didn't involve a cloth, a spray bottle, or even bending down. She'd walk over to the kitchen window, slide it open just a crack, and let the morning air drift in. You don't just clean with your hands, she'd say softly to herself, you clean with air. It started as something small 10 minutes after breakfast while the dishes dried on the rack. But it became a quiet ritual, one that lifted more than just the temperature in the room, the scent of cold pine in winter. The faint sweetness of grass in spring, the sharp breeze that cut through cooking smells. It wasn't about temperature, it was about energy. The whole house shifted just slightly, and so did her mood. Some mornings were too cold to keep it open long, but even 2 minutes made a difference, just enough to move the stillness. Just enough to remind the walls that the world was still out there, full of wind and birdsong and things beyond the front door. Even on harder days when grief lingered or the silence felt too loud, Margaret found it comforting. The air always came, no matter what. She remembered her husband once telling her long ago that open windows were good luck. They let the day in, he said, buttoning his coat. Now, years later, Margaret would open the window and whisper back, "Come on in." And as she stood there, breathing in the clean air, it was more than just ventilation. It was permission to let go of yesterday, to welcome what's next. She even began tying the habit to other tasks, while wiping down the counters, while folding a small basket of laundry. Sometimes she'd light a candle after closing the window again, sealing in the freshness like a quiet blessing. If opening a window feels too cold, start with just a crack, open the top pane. Let in a little breath, even for 5 minutes. You don't have to let the whole house chill, just enough to tell your senses that something new has begun. And here's something gentle to try. As you open the window, say something kind to yourself. Margaret's words became her own kind of prayer. I open the window and breathe in gratitude, not for a perfect home, not for spotless floors, but for the chance to try again today. And as the air moves through the room, take a look around. Light lands differently on the surfaces now. Dust glints where it didn't before, which brings us to another quiet habit that makes your home feel more alive, dusting away what no longer serves. As the fresh air began to settle and the room felt just a bit lighter, Margaret noticed how the morning sun revealed things she hadn't seen the night before. The surface of the side table, the rim of the bookshelf, the top of the TV screen, each catching the light in a way that showed a soft layer of dust, like powder on forgotten corners. Dust is invisible until it is, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. She used to think of dusting as a weekend task, something to tackle all at once with a feathered duster and a sore back, but now she approached it differently. Just a few high-touch spots each day, that's all, nothing overwhelming, just the surfaces that hands reach for again and again, remote controls, doorknobs, lamps, drawer handles, even the little ledge on the thermostat. Margaret kept a cloth folded on the end table by her chair. Another rested beside her bed, soft, easy to grab, never far from reach. I dust while waiting for the kettle to boil, she said with a small smile. It gave her hands something to do in the quiet moments. One wipe across the shelf, a quick sweep over the picture frame. It wasn't about cleaning everything, it was about paying attention. One morning, she picked up her cloth and gently wiped the top of the old bookshelf. As the sunlight streamed in through the open window, it struck the edge of a small silver frame she hadn't touched in weeks. She leaned in and ran the cloth across it. Dust lifted like a thin veil, and underneath, her wedding photo came into focus. Her younger self stood beside her husband, both beaming in the afternoon light of a long-ago June. The colors had faded, but the joy remained. Margaret paused, her fingers resting gently on the glass. A smile crossed her face, soft and slow. For a moment, the room disappeared. "We were just kids," she whispered. In that instant, dusting stopped being about chores. It became connection, a quiet remembering, a way of tending not just to things but to the life they held. And the truth is, these little swipes added up. The room felt clearer, easier to breathe in. For someone like Margaret, who sometimes battled allergies in spring or woke with a scratchy throat in winter, the difference mattered. Dust doesn't just dull the look of a space, it lingers in the air, on the cushions, in the things we touch most often. Keeping it in check meant she could breathe deeper and feel better. She also found comfort in the small routine. It brought a sense of order, a rhythm. Even if she didn't do much that day, she had tended to her space. That meant something. The same way brushing your hair or straightening your collar sets the tone, wiping down a dusty lampshade felt like claiming the day before it got away from her. And if you're thinking, "I can't dust the whole house," that's okay. You don't need to. Just choose 3 things. Today, maybe it's the light switches in the hallway. Tomorrow, the top of the TV. Keep a cloth nearby where you sit, where you sleep, where you spend your quiet moments. Let it be simple. Let it be enough. Because sometimes caring for your home isn't about deep scrubbing or grand gestures. It's in the soft swipe of a cloth, the glow on a picture frame, the hush of memory rising in the light, the quick attention to a forgotten shelf, the quiet noticing of what no longer belongs. It's how we stay connected, not just to our space but to our presence in it. But even when the dust settles, something else often builds in its place. Not on shelves, but in the rhythm of our routines, those scattered ends we leave behind before heading to bed. Even after the last speck of dust was gone and the air felt fresh again, Margaret knew that peace didn't last on its own. It had to be protected, especially at night. Because no matter how smooth a day had gone, if she woke up to yesterday's mess, it felt like she had already fallen behind. That's why her quiet evening reset became one of the most powerful habits she ever kept. How you end the day shapes how you start the next. It didn't take much, just 10 minutes before bed. Margaret would dim the lights and put on soft instrumental music, the kind that didn't have words, just melody. Then, without hurry, she'd fold the blanket on the couch, fluff the cushions, and straighten the books and remotes on the coffee table. She'd slip her slippers back where they belonged, tuck a stray shoe under the bench, wipe a single smudge off the mirror. It wasn't deep cleaning, it was setting the tone for tomorrow. Sometimes she'd whisper to herself, "I'm tucking the house in." And, in a way, she was. Each movement told her brain the day was closing gently, not in chaos or noise, but in intention. She didn't always feel like doing it, but she never once regretted it the next morning. There was something quiet and dignified about waking up to a space that looked like it had been waiting for her. It gave her energy instead of taking it. If 10 minutes feels like too much, start with 3. Pick just one area, the kitchen counter, the entryway, or the living room chair. Ask yourself, what would make me smile when I see it in the morning? Maybe it's an empty sink, maybe it's a cleared table. Maybe it's a candle you blow out after wiping the surface underneath. There's a soft kind of joy that comes from greeting the day without being pulled into yesterday's clutter. And that kind of joy isn't loud, it's quiet, it's calm. It's earned through little acts that most people overlook, but you'll feel it. In your shoulders, in your breath, in the way you pour your morning tea without sighing at the mess. So tonight, before you turn off the lights, take one small loop around your home. Fold the blanket, close the cabinet, put the glasses away, let your home rest the way you wish to rest. And here's a gentle question to end with. What 3 things could you reset tonight that would make tomorrow feel easier? Just 3. That's all it takes to begin again with peace. And to make this even easier, let's look at one small shift that makes cleaning feel more natural, having the right supplies exactly where you need them. After those 3 simple resets at night, Margaret found herself waking up to a space that didn't just look peaceful, it invited her to keep it that way. But what really helped her stay consistent wasn't willpower, it wasn't energy. It was access. She often said, "You don't need more motivation, you just need closer supplies." In the past, she'd see a toothpaste smear in the bathroom sink and think, "I'll clean that later," but later kept slipping away. The cloth was under the kitchen sink. The spray was somewhere in the laundry room, and by the time she tracked it down, the moment and the desire had passed. That's when she realized the problem wasn't her attitude, it was the setup. So she made a small shift. She put a tiny caddy right under the bathroom sink, just a cloth, a gentle cleaner, and a pair of gloves. Now when she noticed a spot, she could handle it right then and there. It became part of her flow. No decision-making, no extra steps, just simple action. She did the same in the kitchen, one bottle of all-purpose spray, a folded towel, and a brush tucked neatly in a basket beneath the counter. In the living room, she kept a little tin under the side table with a microfiber cloth and furniture polish. It wasn't about cleaning more, it was about making it easier to clean a little whenever needed. Because for many of us, especially as we get older, it's not the task itself that's tiring, it's the getting up, the bending, the walking across the house just to find the right rag or product. And when something takes effort just to begin, it becomes easy to skip. By placing supplies where she used them, Margaret removed the barriers. Cleaning wasn't a project anymore, it was a gentle habit. She even labeled each caddy in her favorite handwriting. "Fresh," said the one in the bathroom. "Shine," said the one in the kitchen. That little personal touch made her smile each time she opened the cupboard. It reminded her this wasn't about chores, it was about care, for her space, for her comfort, for her peace of mind. So take a moment and ask yourself, what's the one spot in your home that always gets overlooked because the supplies are too far away? Is it the hallway table, the bathroom mirror, the front door smudges? What if you kept a cloth and spray right there just for that task? Because when things are within reach, they don't feel like work, they feel like second nature. And now that your hands are ready, your space is gently maintained, and your routines are flowing, there's one more step to bring it all together, starting from the ground up. With every surface reset and supplies in place, Margaret had just one more ritual to ground her space and herself. She believed that peace didn't just live on countertops or shelves, it settled in the soles of your feet. Because even before your eyes notice the dust, your feet already know. The moment you step barefoot into the kitchen or slide your socks across the hallway, you can feel it, the crumbs, the grit, the little reminders that life has moved through. Each morning, before the kettle even whistled, Margaret would step quietly into the kitchen barefoot, letting her heels press against the cool tile. That first contact told her everything, a stray breadcrumb near the stove. Grit from yesterday's shoes near the entry mat. She didn't wince at it, she listened to it. These were the small echoes of a day lived fully and now gently ready to be cleared. That's why every morning after breakfast, Margaret picked up her lightweight broom and gave the floor a quick pass, just 3 minutes. She didn't aim for perfection, she didn't move furniture or chase corners. She simply swept the kitchen, the entryway, and the small patch between the couch and the coffee table. She called it resetting the day's tone, not cleaning, just clearing, making way for calm. There was something almost meditative about it, like sweeping away not just crumbs but the leftover weight of yesterday's worries, a soft brushing of the past, a quiet act of starting over. Some mornings she used her cordless vacuum instead, easy on the back, no cord to drag behind. A few quick passes and the crumbs from toast or the dry leaves near the doorway were gone. But her favorite days were the barefoot ones, when she could feel the shift beneath her toes, as if her feet were telling her, this spot matters. What she noticed over time was simple. When the floors were clean, everything else felt cleaner too. Even if a magazine was left out or the mail hadn't been sorted yet, a swept floor gave the whole room a sense of dignity. It whispered, someone lives here and they care. For many of us, the idea of sweeping daily might sound like too much. We're used to saving it all for Saturday, but what if you didn't wait until the mess was visible? What if, instead of hours of cleaning once a week, you gave yourself 3 minutes a day, one quick pass, one room, that's all? It's not about doing more, it's about spreading the effort gently like butter across toast, just enough to cover it without overwhelming the slice. Margaret used to think she had to earn a clean house by working hard, but now she sees it differently. A home doesn't need to be spotless, it just needs to feel tended to. And the floor, the place you walk, stretch, rest your feet, is the most honest place to begin. So here's something to try. Tomorrow after breakfast, take a broom and do a loop around your kitchen. don't worry about corners. Just clear the path you walk most, maybe even take your socks off. Let your feet tell you where care is needed. Notice how it feels to move through a space without crumbs catching your steps. Notice how it changes the way you carry yourself, maybe even smile when it's done. Because now that everything's clean and the ground beneath you feels lighter, there's one final step. And it might be the most important one of all, not cleaning, not tidying, but something even simpler, allowing yourself to enjoy the home you've cared for.